guys, welcome back to this video. So I posted on my Instagram how I potty trained Callie, who's my daughter, at 20 months old, and I wanted to share with you guys how I did it, what products I used, what worked, what didn't, and kind of how the daily process went, because I had so many of you guys ask questions and whatnot. So before we get started, I kind of want to just make like a little disclaimer of like, I am all about like whatever works for you, whatever works for your kid, whenever you feel like you're ready, that's the right time to potty train. Like, some kids are ready earlier, some kids are ready later, and I don't want you guys to feel like guilty or pressured or whatnot from this video to potty train your kid at a younger age unless it works for you and it's gonna work for your kid. So to kind of start with like, I don't know, from the beginning, Callie started to show kind of like some readiness signs over the last couple of months. So I would say about 16, 17 months, she started to tell me like when she would poop, or she would recognize like if she didn't have a diaper on and she peed, she would, you know, recognize that she peed, and she was really like interested in the potty. And so I bought her a potty that looked like our actual potty, and I'll link it, but we used it, but we actually didn't use it as much as I would have thought. And I bought it just to see like if she'd be curious and sitting on it, and like it's like a mini version for her. And every time I would go to the bathroom, I would start to kind of like talk to her about what I'm doing. Like, look, mama's peeing, and this is how we wipe and flush and wash our hands, and kind of go through the steps. And she really was like grasping it, and she would, when I would pee, she'd go, oh, pee pee, and when I would wipe, she would like give me a piece of toilet paper. So she was starting to kind of like connect the dots in the routine. So I was like, do kids potty train at this young of an age? Like, I always thought kind of between 2 and 3 was kind of like the prime time. And so I Googled like how to potty train your, I think she was like 18 or 19 months at the time, 18-month-old. And I found some resources, and in particular I found a course that I took called like Go Diaper Free, and I'll link that as well. So it was like 27 bucks, but it basically kind of walks you through the potty training process for kids between like 18 and 24 months. And it was really interesting because it actually talked a lot about how like, since the diaper industry has become like bigger over the last several decades, potty training has gotten later and later and later. And back in like the old days when diapers weren't really a thing or were kind of a new thing, kids were being potty trained by like 13 months, 15 months, and like definitely by 18 months, most kids were already potty trained because they didn't have this like diaper on or portable potty to go around with them. So they would recognize from a younger age like what it means to soil yourself, and parents would be more kind of in tune with their kids' like natural rhythm of when they typically go, how often in between, do they go usually after meals, and like there's signs of them going. And so I was kind of interested in this. I was like, if the diaper industry basically has kind of like extended potty training and to like a later age, then maybe Callie actually is ready and I just need to go for it. And I'm not saying you should feel guilty if your kid is still in diapers. I honestly was like sad to be done with the diaper stage because I wasn't like exactly sick of diapers or anything. I wasn't like, oh, I hate changing your diaper. Nothing like that at all. Diapers are actually super convenient and easy, and you don't have to worry about your kid peeing in public and whatnot. And I was kind of sad. I actually had to like kind of grieve the diaper phase. I know it sounds silly, but in the course I took, it talks about how like it's okay to feel sad that your kid is like growing up and moving on to this next stage, and you're gonna be done with this phase. So anyways, that is like a tangent. But yes, so I was like, you know, I'm gonna try potty training Callie, and I talked to her pediatrician and I was like, hey, is it too young to potty train? She's like, you know what, if she's basically telling you that she's ready, then go for it, because if you wait and you kind of miss this opportunity, then she may not be like as into it when you come back to it in a couple of months. So I was like, whatever, I'll just go give it a go. So basically what I started off doing is I had about like a 5-day period off of work that I was like, I'm gonna just go for it. And I just started letting her like run around naked. And I would really pay attention to like her signs before she would go. Like for her, she starts to kind of grab herself, she gets a little fidgety, and she also can answer the question, like if I say, do you need to go potty, she can like tell me yes or no. So that's helpful. Your toddler doesn't have to be able to answer that question to do potty training. Basically the only thing you need to for potty training is just for them to like be showing signs of potty training, as far as like grabbing themselves or fidgety, or maybe they start like squatting or get you a diaper, like those types of things. And so if she looked like she needed to go, I would sit her on the potty and I would distract her until she went. Now the method that I used said to wait until they start going and then put them on the potty. But I felt like because Callie could tell me if she needed to go or not, I didn't need to like wait until she was actually going to put her on. So I would like ask her, do you need to go? And she would tell me, you know, yes, no. And I would put her on the potty, and I would have to distract for the first like couple of days, more like probably a week, week and a half. It was hard to get her to just sit on the potty. And so I would like turn TV on or read a book to her or do something to kind of distract her. So that way she, like when she'd sit there enough to go, because sometimes she would like sit down and then stand right back up. And so I would do something to distract her. And then when she would go, I would just praise her. So originally I was like gonna do, you know, M&Ms or toys or something, but the method that I used said like potty training is a normal, like it's a normal thing to do, to pee in the toilet and poop in the toilet. And so you don't necessarily need to reward your kid for that. And I'm not shaming anyone who wants to reward their kid for doing it. We just decided to not do it. And honestly, like our praise to her means a lot. She's in a big like pleasing phase, and she likes knowing a routine, and she likes when we like clap for her. And so honestly, she got to the point where she would go and she would just start clapping, and that's how we would know that she went. So I did this for about like 2 to 3 days, like just doing 100% naked at home. And she did pretty well, in the sense of by like the end of like the 3rd day, I could pretty much like get her on the potty and she would go, and she was still having a couple little accidents, but I would like catch her mid-accident and put her on to like catch the rest of like her pee or poop or whatnot. And so then I started to move kind of onto the next phase, which is wearing some clothes. And we're not doing panties yet. We're just like doing commando. So she's just wearing like shorts with no underwear on, because that like sensation of the underwear like being close to your skin feels a lot like a diaper. And so we're basically like, you're basically retraining your kid's brain to like not feel like when that sensation is there, like that means that she needs to go, if that makes sense, because it's like a diaper. So she's just been in shorts, and what I would do is I would like, if we would be in shorts at home, and we'd be at shorts if we went out and about, and I would try to time like if she would pee before we would go somewhere, then I would go out like, I don't know, for 45 minutes, come back, so that way she could pee again at home. Because it's very, very nerve-wracking going out in public for the first time when your kid is like not really potty trained, but they're not wearing a diaper. So I just try to time my outings to where she had gone right before. I know she goes about every hour to 2, so I would try to be back in time before she would go. And that's the other thing, is you really start to learn your kids like natural rhythm of when they go and how often they go when they're not wearing a diaper. So I know she goes first thing in the morning. She'll usually go, you know, about 2 hours later. She'll usually go before her nap, goes after her nap, and whatnot. So you kind of learn, and you can kind of time like when you're going out and whatnot. So did that for about a week or so, and she really, I would say it took about a week for us to really feel like, okay, yes, she's potty trained, even though she still has occasional accidents. She's potty trained for the sense like we can go out in public and she'll go out in there. I got this really cool like travel size toilet lid thing that I'll link that folds up, so that way you can put it in a diaper bag, and it's perfect for her because she's tiny and she can sit on a big toilet, but she has to like support herself on the ledge. So when we go out in public, it's nice to have something that you know is clean with your own germs and stuff that you can put on a toilet to use, and that way she's not like having to support herself on a public toilet. And she really is doing super well now. So now, for the most part, I can just say like, do you need to go potty? And she'll answer me, or I just don't say anything and she'll tell me potty and I'll put her on. Also, I kind of know around when she's gonna go, and so I'll just say, let's go potty, and like put her on. And she's getting now to the point where, like, let's say it's only been an hour since she peed last, but I want to go to the grocery store and I don't want to have to pee with her at the grocery store. Well, I can sit her on the potty and we can try to go, and she's starting to understand the concept of like, I can actually like push some pee out even if I don't have to like full on explode my bladder, if that makes sense. Kind of like when you're a kid and your parents are like, try to go potty before we get in the car. Similar to that. She's learning like, I can go even if I don't have to like go super, super bad. Okay, let's also talk about poop, because poop took longer for her to understand. I would say that took about a week to a week and a half, because with pees, you get a lot of practice throughout the day. And with poop, there's not as many practices. So with her, I started to learn her signs of when she needed to go, but initially it was hard because it was like by the time she like said she needed to go, she had already went. It's like she could recognize when she went, but she couldn't recognize that she was going or that she needed to go. There's kind of this like natural progression with potty training between like, I have no clue that I went to I went to I'm going to I need to go, if that makes sense. And that's what it talks about in this method too. So with her, she was stuck at like, oops, I already went. And so it took a little while for her to start recognizing like, I need to go poop. And so even now still, she's had a couple little accidents with poop, but for the most part, she kind of gets this look in her face and kind of like squats a little bit and she goes, potty, and I know to get her to the toilet right away, and she usually will go, or she will finish going. Sometimes maybe she went a little bit in her pants, but she definitely is understanding, and she's getting better at it and more confident at it as time goes on. She's also starting to understand the concept of like, when she feels she needs to go poop and I set her down on the toilet, that she can push and go. I know that sounds kind of weird to say as an adult, but it's like, we don't start going in our pants usually. We like get to the toilet and then we push it out. And so she's realizing that like she can have this sensation like she needs to go, and then I can sit her down and she can push it out and go. Whereas before it's like I had to wait till literally she was going to get her on, and it just took a little longer for that connection to happen, I think, because she doesn't get as much practice with it every single day like she does with peas. Oops, someone is at my front door, hold on. Okay, sorry, I had someone come to the door, I had to go answer it for a bit, and I totally don't even remember where I left off, so I'm sorry if I'm gonna repeat himself. I was pretty much like done talking about it, I think, but so where we're at now is we've been potty training for exactly 2 weeks, and she's had a couple days where she's 100% accident free. She's had a couple days where she's maybe had 1 accident, maybe 2, and usually it's like, she went swimming and she is outside and she like, we couldn't get her swimsuit off in time or whatnot. I plan to probably next week start incorporating some panties, so that way I think she's kind of getting used, sorry, that was the dog, by the way. She's getting used to like being naked or having the shorts on, and I think she'll be ready to like start wearing underwear because the diaper's kind of getting, you know, further and further away. She's less used to it. I will say we are not nap time potty training, and we're not nighttime potty training yet. Most days she does wake up dry from her nap, but not all the time, so I'm still using a diaper because I have a bunch of diapers left, and then once I use those up, I will just use pull-ups with her for nap and night. I don't plan on potty training her at nap time or nighttime until she is like out of her crib and can get to the potty. I don't think it's fair to try and force her to be nap or nighttime potty trained when she like can't get out of her crib to go. So and I've heard most kids kind of naturally do it on their own when they've been potty trained for a while, so I'm not worried about it. Like whatever, she can be in a pull-up during her naps and nights for now, and then later on we'll like full on potty train, you know, for naps and nights for that. But daytime potty training, check, complete. She's doing pretty well. I guess I forgot to talk about, we used the baby Bajorn, I don't know how you say it. this little potty, and that's what we've been using. She can go on the big potty, and I have like a seat for the potty, and I have a travel seat, which I'll link everything that we've used. But I really like this baby Bjorn, one, because it's tiny, and two, she can get on it herself, and it's portable. It also has like an anti-slide thing at the bottom, which the mini toilet that I had bought originally didn't, and so like if it wasn't on carpet or up against a surface, it would just try to slide when she was trying to get on it. But the little one, it almost puts them in more of the natural way that like we're supposed to pee and poop, which is squatting. And so she's not as like, how do I say it's not as much as like sitting in a chair as it is like her kind of squatting over this potty, and I like it because it's low, it's easy. I will take it out to the pool or whatnot. You can take it in the car, but for the most part, if we're out in public, she'll go in public, and then when we're at home, she'll use the little potty or the regular potty depending on where we're at in the house. Eventually I'll just have her use like the regular potty, but she can't really get up onto it yet herself. She still needs help pulling down her pants and whatnot. So there's a bunch of things that we're kind of waiting for developmentally, you know, as she just gets bigger and she can do these things. But she is potty trained in the sense that she knows when she needs to go, and she can go in the correct spot. So sorry, this video is like so long, but I guess like there's a lot to talk about with potty training, especially when your kid is 1 year old. So if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to answer everyone. I'll link all the products that we used for the potty training, and good luck if you're potty training your kid. You can do it. So thank you guys for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.